Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you are a Muslim who went to RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, then you are facing what could very well be called home. I am about to enter 2339 15th Street, also known as Masjid al-Hidaya, Masjid, the mosque to many of you, and to some of us, even home. So there's a mailbox, and this is where you took your shoes off. I am just about to enter. Hopefully you can see what I'm also seeing and smelling, taking a whiff of what I would consider home. This is a postcard from home for many of you, I would say for at least a complete generation of people. Since I would say the late 80s, this place has been serving the Muslims who've come to Troy, either as professionals or as students to RPI. I have now entered what is the main prayer area. You remember your bulletin board that used to be there, as some of you may have seen it. In its place now are beautiful posters, the stairs that lead to upstairs, and I know at least a half dozen people who used to live upstairs, including yours truly. If Jamal Soji is watching it, this is where the sanduq used to sit, and we used to have the contribution for the various funds that we would collect, not the least of which was a contribution to help the local Muslims out. And you can see both of them are now sort of embedded into the wall for providing better security. Around the entrance, more posters, and of course this is the famous water fountain, which has been serving generations of Muslims, thirsty Muslims, put in there by Bassam Jalebi. As I enter the prayer area, very little seems to have changed. I was here in 1991 as a student when I graduated. You can catch shadows of 15th Street, cars passing by just outside. A better audiovisual system, that's where the Imam leads Salah from. We have sat through many parties, iftars, dinners, graduation celebrations, welcoming newly arrivals, reading of the hadith after Salatul Aisha, as many of you may have noticed. And of course, if you're wondering what hadith I'm talking about, this is where the books sit. And every evening, I remember in the early 90s, and through some time after that, the book would be pulled out right after people had finished their sunnah and watar after Aisha, and we would read it here. So this is the full room. One little thing, little detail that I noticed. If you look down, if you prayed here many times, you remember, we used to be guided for the Qibla by strings that were laid out. And I found something interesting. I noticed that the angle has been changed by about 25 to 30 degrees. We were apparently not facing the right Qibla direction, or we were slightly off. I have absolute certainty all prayers are accepted with their sincere intentions as it came. But sometimes even engineers can get it off by 25 or so degrees. But it's only with Allah where that probably has no points taken out, and now the community is facing a little bit further to the left, so we were facing a little too far to the east. That was an interesting fact that I found. This is that favorite door that leads down to where we would have all our breakfasts on Saturday mornings. Our wudu area is downstairs. As it says here, restrooms. Also it says, please do not pray in the hallway. Many of you know why. This is the back room, and of course, behind that, the sisters' room. Many generation of Muslimas with technology, education behind them have graduated from here, and they have prayed here. I'm just going through that room into what used to be the library at the back, and you will notice that I have now turned to what used to be the garage, actually, which has now been converted, believe it or not, into an impressive library. An impressive library that looks like it's in need of more space. There are over 70 children who go to school in this building that used to be just a masjid. Now it is a masjid plus a school. This is the old garage that used to have all sorts of stuff here. Stuff is a polite word for it. But today it is filled with a very impressive and a vast collection of books, not to mention that it is a full-time classroom. With audiovisual equipment, a little window at the back, which looks over on Route 7, if you remember. That's the little secret passage that leads down to the basement. Used to be pretty cold winter mornings to have to go down that way, and I'm going to now take you to what used to be the library in the early 90s. This is the side entrance. Some of you may have left your shoes here and been called for it. This is where the shoe rack used to be. This is the back staircase which leads upstairs. And now I'm facing what used to be the library. I've watched many Islamic movies here, the Masjid movie at least 25 times, to the point where I could ad-lib it along with a few other people. It is now very appropriately the office for our very dear brother, Imam Jafar Subhawi. He uses it as his office for managing this organization, for providing counseling and help to people. And as you can see, he's never short of books that he needs to refer to. I'm just going to look out the window. You can see the roof of what used to be Price Chopper. I do not know for a fact if it's the Price Chopper. Before you see the Price Chopper's roof, you probably see places where you had parked illegally many times, and I know you're feeling guilty and you know who you are, so make tawbah just once more. And as you can see, you can almost tell the season in which this video was taken. Trees have barely a leaf, but they're starting to come, believe it or not. This is the magic that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala runs once a year, when life gets pulled out of the trees and then comes back right into it. Above top, if I were a little taller, actually you probably can see all the way at the back. Route 7, that would be the westbound direction leading into Schenectady. This is your brother, Suhail Faruqi, at what used to be home base, 2339 15th Street, Masjid al-Hidaya, now abode of the Muslim community of Troy, signing off and welcoming you and your memories back to this beautiful masjid. Assalamu alaikum.